Hey guys, and welcome back to another Conan Exiles video. Today we are back with the Star Signs builds, the series where we build structures that represent the traits of the traditional zodiac star signs. Seeing as we are in January, it's time for Capricorn, the star sign for December 22nd to January 19th. Capricorn is an earth sign represented by the goat, and they are serious, independent, disciplined and tenacious. They're also linked strongly to hierarchy and order, so today we're building a militia base to embody those traits. This build is over in map square C6 of the Exile lands, just on the cusp of the unnamed city. The requirements are on screen now, and of course it is indeed mod free. So without any further ado, let's get started. Begin with this base plate of ceilings held up by pillars. Next, use the pillar trick to help frame the build. Use stable pillars to ensure they don't interfere with anything else, and then place the pillars where the wall corners and intersections will be. Next, use Argossean walls to close off the gaps beneath the ceilings and merge the build down into the ground. In the decoration phase, I'll end up covering this section with ramps, which I think helps ground the build a bit more, but you don't necessarily have to do that if you don't like the aesthetic. From there, the ground floor walls. Use Argossean walls to build the ground floor 2 tiles high, separating the tower rooms as shown in the blueprint earlier. I included a few windows but not too many, and multiple entrances to the base from the courtyard within. Next, the first floor. Build the pillars up first and then use Argossean vaulted and regular ceilings to close off the top of the walls. I cut down the rear side 3x1 strips to better balance the build, and inside the courtyard towers I used frontier ceilings and hatch frames to construct floors and ladders to reach the top of the tower. You'll also likely want to move the doorway to have better accessibility into the towers themselves. With the towers complete, finish off the ceilings to close off the top of the walls, and then build a staircase opposite the main entrance to connect to the first floor. On the first floor itself, build the walls 1 tile high across the board. You'll then want to section off the long corridor at the back from those on the sides, and then build the walls on that central corridor up another tile after raising the pillars. With the walls complete, start to add the roof gables. They're all simple open gables, just designed to close the gaps in an orderly fashion. Above the central corridor, build a 3x3 of ceilings and then another staircase to connect the first floor to the second, and raise the staircase section walls and pillars up another 3 tiles. Build walls around 3 sides of the 3x3, and then use fences and inverted sloping sides to create an open window wall at the front of the top room. Then continue on with the roof gables as before, again each being a simple open gable. Add crenellated walls to the top of the towers and the central 3x3 roof. Next, for the roofing itself. Create a simple pyramid hip roof over the 3x3 section, and then use the roof pieces to follow the flow of the gables we set up earlier, creating simple and easy roofs that fit the build well. I also ended up replacing the sloping sides on the top 3x3 with door frames instead. You don't have to, but I did feel that door frames looked a bit better. Add trapdoors to the towers and then replace the tricked pillars around the build with Aquilonian squared pillars to give the build a bit more shape, though you can use different pillars if you would prefer. However, that being said, I would always stick with a more square pillar as I feel it suits the shape of this design better. Finally, I opted to replace the front awnings with a roof over the entrance, finishing off the build. With the shell of the build done, it was then time to of course furnish. I added banners and lighting to the base, alongside ramps to give the build a bit more footing and some arcane wall trims. I've tried to make things feel very orderly on the exterior to better emulate the traits of Capricorn, and things are generally very clean and elegant. The ground floor keeps that same order and structure, keeping the corridors clear for traversal whilst also offering a degree of opulence from the vaulted ceilings. The left side of the base holds the workshops where the militia weaponry and armours are made and maintained. To fit with the independent nature of Capricorn, it feels only right that the militia here would be self-sufficient for their armour and weapons, and you'll also find plentiful storage here to meet those aims. On the right side of the base is the kitchens, where the militia are fed. Sticking with the themes of discipline and order, there's not too much fanciful decoration here, nor much social space, just a well-stocked and functional kitchen, alongside a simple and orderly mess hall so the soldiers will come in, eat, and get back to their duties. This kitchen also comes with storage both in the kitchen itself and inside the base of the tower at the rear. Heading upstairs, the main corridor here is mostly a transitory space to lead people to the functional spaces downstairs, upstairs, or on the wings, keeping that same theme of order. Despite that, this corridor holds space for seating, a display of varying armours, weapons and shields, and displays relevant to the war plans as well. Both the left and the right side rooms are identical from that corridor, and they are the dormitories. They're designed for function over form, embodying the discipline of the militia and encouraging them to use this area solely for rest, which plays a bit more into the themes of duty and tradition that Capricorn is linked to. The dorms are also connected to the towers to allow soldiers to quickly man the defences should the need arise. Finally, upstairs once more and past the elite guard posted on the staircase, we reach the commander's quarters that look over the rest of the base. This is a fairly small room, but much like the rest of the base, it is focused on order and hierarchy. Here the commander looks over the war plans and watches over the training of his soldiers as they prepare for the battles to come. And there we have it, a militia base in the exiled lands, built to represent the traits of the Capricorn star sign. Thanks for watching, and of course a massive thanks to our wonderful esteemed coffee cultists for continuing to support the channel over on Patreon. I think there were many ways I could have taken this sign, but in the end I think this choice came out quite well. Next time we have Aquarius, which I think is going to be a pretty fun sign to build for. Again, thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you soon.